Yes, everybody. Good morning, West Ham fans. Is Tim Steidten our super trooper? A very good Thursday morning to you. Hope you're safe and well. We'll be having the 𝙍𝙀𝙋𝙊𝙍𝙏 press conference ahead of our cup final against Spurs at the weekend. We'll be having a debrief session just after lunch when it's due to be live. Just after it, we go straight on and put our thoughts of what it could mean. Obviously, question marks. I'm sure there'll be some questions around the returning international players as well as the folk as well. But I want to talk about something a bit more strategic and a potential smorgasbord of opportunity if, like IKEA, we assemble it properly. So, a report here we go. Flarland's Folkeblad, which has been relayed by Fodbollskanalen, has reported that West Ham have held discussions with the Swedish second division side 𝙍𝙀𝙋𝙊𝙍𝙏 IF. The Swedish club were relegated to the second division last season, but it looks like they're going to be bouncing straight back up as they are something like 8 points clear of second place with 4 games left. But the report has mentioned that the Swedish second division club has had negotiations with West Ham over a cooperation deal that could be beneficial for both clubs. And no doubt money will be changing hands. Their chairman, Fredrik Rakara, has refused to confirm whether it's the Hammers, but there's a certainty from the report that it is. He was quoted in saying, "Nothing is signed, but it seems promising. They, likely West Ham, will come here on Monday." So it's a case of maybe going over and, knowing me and knowing you, and maybe West Ham taking a chance on me. That doesn't work. But apparently the West Ham have already had negotiations, apparently, according to the report, over in London. The chairman, Fredrik Z. Rakara, said that we flew to London already. That much I can say. But the newspaper asked him what he expects from this collaboration, this cooperation relationship. He said, "We want to strengthen our academy and build for the future, ensuring that the club are on the map long-term and sustainably. In this work, we have held initial talks with a club in England that has one of the foremost academies with a long and good habit of refining individuals. That's why we chose them, not because of any star power." So a really good academy that probably isn't, competing for the Premier League titles or things like that. Hello, that's definitely West Ham by the sounds of it. That sounds like us and the Dancing Queens. Now, what's interesting is it clearly indicates, in my eyes, what he's saying, a collaboration that could benefit both. It could give West Ham academy players the opportunity to play first team football in Sweden in a environment that they are necessarily not in charge of, but have a significant say in. Whereas a lot of the loan signings is up to chance, really. We've got a situation where people like Gideon Cadogan aren't getting game time at Wickham, whereas someone like Freddie Potts is at Portsmouth. And it always seems when we take players on loan, we send them out on loan, there is a little bit of trepidation. Now, if there's an agreement set up whereby maybe academy players could go over there, their academy players could join our 21s, 18 squads as well. That to me seems a really useful idea, particularly also in terms of how the Swedish and the English football seasons run. Obviously, Sweden's just about to finish their season in the next few weeks, whereby West Ham are in the midst, or just really in the first 2-3 months of the new season. So again, there's that sort of crossover period, which could be useful and could be beneficial. And it is a case of the winner takes it all. But I had a really good. What was the one I was going to? I had a good pun about that. Oh, coming up. Anyway, doesn't matter. Oh, yeah, there we go. I remember now. But is it a case of Mamma Mia, here I go again? Because I thought I was led to be believed by what we had heard that we had a similar cooperation partnership with the Austrian Bundesliga, like Klagenfurt, when we signed Andy Irving and then sent them back on loan for the rest of that season in a sort of a cooperation deal, which nothing materialised from that. So hopefully this is different, and hopefully, as I said, there's a smorgasbord of opportunity here, and it's a Swede-Deal really by all accounts. I'm all for these types of partnerships and these types of agreements. Also, Sweden as well. We've been looking at, obviously, if you go back, if I'm no, that was was it Denmark? I think it was Denmark, somewhere in the Nordics. But there's also, the possibilities. I mean, when we signed Mohamed Kudus, obviously he came from Ajax, but originally he came from, was it the Danish side, wasn't it? Was it Norgeslat? I should have probably checked this beforehand. But it's the same thing with Ibrahim Osman, a guy we were linked with, and he came from, the Ghanaian, was it Rise to Shine sort of academy, and then went to play for Norgesland, which is in Denmark. But similarly, there'll be the opportunity to maybe take the best players, and look at, some of maybe Swedish talent as well, an area which maybe we haven't really utilised as much. We haven't had lots of Swedish players. Hasan Bogdanovic, I think, obviously Freddie Lundberg, and there's no doubt plenty more which have just completely evaded me at the moment. But those are the two main ones I can think of. But we'll see. And as I said, like IKEA, if it's put together with the right ingredients and the right parts, you won't have many bits left over. Whenever you have these annoying little wooden things left over, then we'll see what happens. But it's interesting. It's interesting. And again, it sort of goes with what I was saying. We're setting up something proper now. It seems we've had sort of collaboration agreements with sides over in Brazil as well, not necessarily for players to go out, but sort of semi-loose partnerships, which was set up by Rob Newman. Now with this as well, and it seems really. It sounds really interesting, and we'll see if it comes to fruition. And that's it, my friends. So anyway, keep an eye on everything that goes around and comes around. As I said, we'll come back with the Julien Lopetegui press conference in a couple of hours' time, and Hammer's headlines afterwards as well. Talking about Lucas Paqueta, Brazilian hearing. Is there some more that meets the eye, quite possibly? Don't forget, again, I keep mentioning it because I don't want you to miss it. The Yoshi Benayoun interview we had the other day, which is fantastic hour of your time. And take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, and come on your irons. Much love. Bye bye.